Hello and welcome everyone, it is time for a new Legacy video, and today I'm playing a deck that I have been wanting to play for a long while now, which is Cradle Control. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually started out playing Legacy by playing Elves, and this is what Elves has shifted towards, where we now call it Cradle Control. So let me start by saying that it's been a long while since I've actually played Elves intensively, or Cradle Control as we call it these days. So I'll probably make some mistakes, but I have some general knowledge of the deck, of course. So let's just quickly dive into the list that we are looking at and why I really like this gameplay. Generally, I like playing green stuff. That's why I started out with Elves, and then later on I really wanted to play blue, so I landed at Infect. But the list I'm playing is from this player here, Connor M426, who went 6th place in a Legacy challenge. So I just copied their list, the exact 75, because they clearly know what they are doing. And let's just dive into some of the bread and butter of the list. What does this list actually want to do? Well, the big upgrade that they recently got is Badgermole Cub. So if you don't know what this does, Earthbent 1, so you may target a land, and then it becomes a creature with haste, you put a counter on it, and if it dies or is exiled, it returns tapped. This is literally insane for the deck, what you can do with this. Put it on a wasteland, then if you waste it, comes back. You can also do some crazy stuff with Gaia's Cradle here, because now it is a creature. So what you can do is you also have Quirion ranges, so you can actually tap your Gaia's Cradle, return a forest. Since Gaia's Cradle is a creature, you can untap it. Stuff like that. There's so many cool things that you can do with this list, and I will definitely miss some of them, so apologies again. White Reliquary is another one of those pieces that's very important, because you can search up whatever land you want. Make sure you can also protect your creatures with Talon Gates of Madara. Interestingly enough, this list only plays 1 Talon Gates. I've seen most of them play 2, or maybe that's a swap that has been made recently. I'm not too sure about that, but it is important for me to realize. So we also have Dryad Arbors because it's creatures. We have a Bajuka Bog we can find against the graveyard decks. And then what else is in here? We have a lot of like sweet one-offs that we can find. We have Natural Orders. This is speak for itself. If you play Natural Order, you definitely want to play the Haymakers. So one of those Haymakers is create a Hoof Behemoth, where you can just try and kill our opponents with all the creatures that we have, make them huge. And of course, do I even need to talk about Atraxa? We all know what it does. It's insanely powerful, so of course you want this as a Natural Order target. Now, with Zenith, we also have a lot of slower stuff that we can get. So we can get Sylvan Safekeeper, protect our stuff. Fiend Artisans to just have like a built-in Natural Order. Collector Oof is another one of those cards that just shuts down all the artifact decks. And then we also have Grist. It's a Planeswalker, but it's a creature in the library, so we can get it with our Natural Order or Green Sun Zenith, and it just makes for another win condition. Interestingly enough, a card that I'm not seeing in this list is Garruk Teeg. That has been popping up recently in lists, so this player decides not to play it. It's also not on the sideboard. We also have Endurance here and Springheart and Nantukos to just have a lot of flexibility. Sideboard, Cradle Control these days after sideboard just goes heavily into the discard spells. I mean, you're not that good against combo game 1, so you need to have discard spells for game 2. And the rest is pretty stock. Abrupt Decays, just get rid of whatever they want to do because it's uncounterable. Another Grists for when you really want it. Endurance against the graveyard-based decks. Force of Vigor, because of course we're playing green, so you're going to play it. And then a really cool inclusion is Toxicrene. This is mainly against lands because it just shuts down. Sure, they can still make mana, but they lose all abilities. So I really think that's a really, really cool new addition to the deck. Then we have Icestill Explorer, just to play more lands and play lands from the graveyard, like Wasteland, Locks, etc. Cool stuff. I'm going to try do my best in sideboarding, but I will definitely make some mistakes there. Alright, let's dive in. You know what's another really interesting inclusion that I haven't seen is Allosaurus Shepherd. So no, this player felt like they did not need to worry about their stuff getting counted. I mean, this is fine. I'm going to keep, so that seems good. Also, if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe to the video. I'm curious to have more and more of you watching so I can make more and more content. Okay, Affinity. I'm just going to yield to the turn. Let's see how this deck is going to perform against Affinity. Of course, we draw the Atraxa. See, this is just why I do not play these decks. You will just always draw into the Atraxa when you play it. Well, anyway, let's just play Ignoble and pass. My opponent plays Springs, targets Pinnacle Emissary and casts it. This is the race, so they will try and be as fast as possible. Slam in, sure. That's it. Okay, not bad. Didn't draw land, that sucks. So I could either go for Badger Mole or play the White of the Reliquary to hope to work towards Gaia's Cradle. I think that's probably better. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So here's how it works. We played a Quirion Ranger. Makes for a lot of mana, cool shenanigans that you can do. And then we're going to tap for green. I'm gonna use the Quirion Ranger to untap this. Bounce the Forest. Play the Bayou now. I'm going to play the Badger Mole Cub. And they force that. The idea was what I wanted to do is have the Badger Mole Cub, and then I wanted to target the land here, and then if I tapped Ignoble for a mana, I would have been able to add green and black and play the white. But the reason for playing it like this is that I don't want him to actually counter the White of the Reliquary, so I'd rather have them counter the Badger Mole than the white, because now I still have access to Natural Order next turn if I want to. So that's my reasoning. They play another Pinnacle Emissary. Okay. Play the Bauble, sure. And normally what I would do now is just Natural Order for a Troxer, but I mean, sucks to be me. Nothing I can do about that. They Bauble twice. I'm not sure if it's worth to get Collector Oof here with the Natural Order. I don't think so. They already have so much artifacts on the battlefield that I don't think it's worth it. Maybe I should just dump as much stuff on the board as I can and then next turn go for Natural Order into Crater Hoof. I think that's the best thing to do. Because if I go for Crater Hoof right now, they will actually be able to block enough. And I really need to have Trample. Currently they can only deal 13 to me, so I should be able to survive one more turn. They've also already seen Double Force, so the chances of them having another one are low. Again, if I could, I would just get a Traxxas, but I can't. Let's just play a bunch of these things. So I did the trick with Quirion Ranger, and now I will just cast the Springheart Nantuko. Then I'm going to follow it up with a white. This is why I played the Springheart first, so I can get the counter, well, the counter of the token. And then we played a white, and now I'm going to pass through the turn. So we have a huge Crit Hoof incoming next turn. Just going to yield through the turn because whatever. Now the question is, do they have Force? It's really that easy. This is why it's interesting to me that they didn't have Allosaurus Shepherd as one of in the list. Most lists do have that. But this is 12, that's fine. We draw the land. Okay, so I guess we could get Dryad Arbor. Let's make another one of these. Don't think it really matters if I'm being honest. Let's just fetch. Go to 1. Let's see if they have Force of Will here. Going to do the trick here to untap the Noble just to ensure that I have as much mana as I possibly can. Alright, do you have Force of Will, my friend? They do. Okay, triple Force in less than 20 cards. That happens sometimes. Let's concede. I think in general you just try and trim the cards that I really don't want, the one-offs that you don't want in this matchup, and you just swap them for better cards. That would be my idea. So I don't think I want Bajuka Bog here. Because I really do want, or easy of course, Force of Vigor is very good. These are the cards I definitely want. Abrupt Decays are also good, but I don't absolutely need to have them. Force of Vigor I absolutely must have. I think I'm going to trim Grist. That's probably too slow. I don't think I need Sylvan Safekeeper in this matchup, so that's already a couple of inclusions. Endurance is fine. Don't think I want all of them. Maybe I'd rather have Thoughtseize to just prevent them from being able to, force a will. That's probably better, right? Maybe I'm definitely keeping 1 so I can fetch it up if I need to. Maybe I even prefer Thoughtseize over Abrupt Decays. You know what, I'm just going to try this. Double Thoughtseize, double Force of Vigor, and leave it at that. As I said, sideboarding is definitely challenging, so I'm going to do this on the fly, and let me know if you disagree with me in the comments. Of course, we have a Traxxas, so I'm really good at finding the one of a Traxxas in spaces where you really do not want it. I have turned to Collector Oof, so I think this is a keep. This is a Traxxas, dude. So that's not how you do it. Let's just start by casting this. We have white. I like that, so I'm going to just play it. I said play it. I meant let's just take it. They play Saga and pass. Okay, sure. Let's Zenith and see if we can just shut down the deck. I'm going to get a Bayou. Looks like they do have Force. Good for them. Let's pass. Seat and Mox Opal. So clearly Well, if that Fiend Artisan, sorry, that Collector Oof would have had hit the battlefield, that would have been great. Okay, I like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play the land first. Badgermole. See if that works. I'm going to Earthbend the fetch land. Let's just fetch immediately. So that means it will return. Ooh, small mistake by me there. I probably should have tapped it differently because I wanted to play the white. But I missed the fact that I'm playing Noble. I had Noble, not Ignoble. Not the end of the world, if I'm being honest. But still, it's a detail. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get Mortuary. Surveil Trigger. Yeah, I like that. That one can stay. And if I didn't like it, I would have once upon a time because I have 2 mana, but I don't want to do that now, of course. They make a construct end of turn. Let's see if they make another one. They probably should. Play a Bauble, play Ancient Tomb. Okay. This Atraxa in hand is so awkward. Yep, that will happen. I will take 8 damage. They will draw a bunch of cards here with the Bauble triggers. Okay, so what I think I want to try and do is cast Atraxa next turn. I can do that if I get Quirion Ranger, but then I am still lacking because I can only untap Noble once, so that doesn't work yet. Because I shouldn't have boarded out Grist, that would have been good too. Definitely playing the white here. So then I could try and see if we can squeeze out another turn here. Zenith gets me another Mana Dork. I can also fetch a Dryad Arbor to block. Then I do need Zenith to actually get a good creature here. I should probably just get Collector Oof and see if that's good enough. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay, pass through the turn. Looks like they have Kappa Cannoneer, sure. Not much I can do about that. Gonna have to block the construct. So how are we gonna be able to wiggle through here? I guess if I top deck Natural Order, that's the only thing how I can win. So I think I'm just thinking about what am I going to block with. It might actually be Collector Roof because I'm going to be dead next turn regardless. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I think we lose here. So is there anything I can do? So white can get a land, but that doesn't do anything. I could get Talon Gates and get rid of one of them. But then the other one depends on, like, I can double block potentially, get rid of this for a turn, and then if they are not able to make this unblockable, maybe we have a shot. I mean, I have to try. Let's see what's on top first. Guys, Cradle's not bad, but I don't have anything to do with the mana here. I guess it's the best thing to take to play towards my outs. Let's play the Cradle, play the Ignoble, and I guess pass. There we have the Saga. Chalice on 1. Okay. Worst part is that it makes this unblockable. So let's see if they attack with everything. At least Cradle means I can actually use the Town Gates on Kappa Cannoneer because I can pay for the ward. So I can use the white, get a Town Gates, get rid of this. This becomes 1 bigger. But then I have to block that one, block this, and that. And I'm still just dead. Okay, yeah, concede. Hope you guys enjoyed that showcase of how to draw the Atraxa or have it in the opening hand. Well, this sucks. Okay, this is pretty nice. I'm going to keep that one. I guess I get rid of a land. Or maybe an Ignoble. I want to get really cute and play turn 2 Badgermole on Wasteland and Wastes to get a Wasteland back. That would be cool. So I'm going to keep... yeah, let's get rid of a land. I do not want to get a Wasteland, so I will get a Forest and pass. Having ourselves on Warrior. Looks like we're playing against Initiative, I guess. Chromox imprints Annoying Peacekeeper. So we're going to see it here, turn 1. Seasoned Engineer. There we go. That's what I was expecting. We can kill it with Grists, though. So the question is, how do I want to navigate this? I think what I said before remains true. I'm going to Wasteland the Cavern because I do get the Wasteland back, and I also have Badgermole. And then next turn I can actually Grist. The goal is basically to just get back the initiative and go from there. Let's play the Wasteland, play the Badgermole, put it on the Wasteland. Yes, please. And let us waste the Cavern. Get the Wasteland back. That's what I'm talking about. It's so good. They put some counters on the Dungeoneer, sure. I'm curious to see if they're going to attack. Yes, they will attack. That probably means they have some kind of a removal spell, or maybe another blocker. Now, I'm assuming they have removal, so if I attack here first, then they will remove the creature. I wish I would have used Grist on them, but I think I'd rather have them do that, because I can still just attack next turn with the Ignoble if they remove the Badger Mole. And if I get back the initiative here, I'm happy. Okay, so that works. Nice. Then I will definitely try and remove the creature. Get the forest here. Let's play the land. They will be able to protect the creature here regardless of what I do. So let's play the Grists. And now I would like to get a Dryad Arbor. And I would like to kill the Seasoned Engineer by sacrificing the Dryad Arbor. Play another threat. Okay, looking pretty good. And then just concede. Well, okay. That was pretty cool. Sideboarding against this deck, yeah, I guess we just play the Thought Seizers because we want to prevent them from having the initiative. I really like Grist. Replicate will not hit a lot of stuff. I could play Force of Vigors to shut them off the mana, but I'm not sure if that's worth it. Let's just see how many cards we want to take out, shall we? I can safely cut these Endurances. It's not what this is for. Collector is still fine. Not great. Initiative usually doesn't play that many removal spells, so Sylvan Library is medium. Fiend Artisan is very slow. Fiend Artisan is probably one of the first things to go. It's too slow. Spring Heart is nice because it makes a lot of creatures. Natural Order is slow too. I'm not sure if we are able to pull that one off. Then again, if you can cast it and play a track set also flies, it's so powerful. My guess would just be Library, oof, and then I think I want to have just these 5. Seems legit. Yeah, I'm gonna try it like this. Again, let me know in the comments what I did wrong. Yeah, this hand's pretty good. I'm gonna keep Romox. Could have Force of Vigor here in response. Maybe against this deck, Force of Vigor is worth it. I honestly don't know. Trinisphere, okay. I guess Force of Vigor doesn't work against that, so that is a huge blowout for me. Now, this is not a guarantee game over just yet. They do follow it up with a Caves of Chaos Adventurer. That's not nice. Well, there's nothing I can do, so not looking good. Even if I had a Thoughtseize here, being on the draw, really impactful. And you can see why I want Thoughtseize. I think if you can strip away 1 or 2 cards from your opponent's hand here, you should be fine. I can't cast that. I think this game is already over, if I'm being honest. Let's just draw. I don't want to expose Gaia's Cradle to Wasteland, so I'm not going to play it. The idea here is I want to be able to top deck in the fetch land, so I can, end of turn, set up a situation where I can like double Dryad Arbor and then play Gaia's Cradle, have 4 mana up, and then play Badger Mole to increase the mana amount. But we're in trouble. Trinisphere is definitely painful for this deck on the draw. On the play, it's fine because you make so much mana that usually it's not that big of a deal. Let's see, what do we get rid of here? Doesn't matter. Let's just do Once Upon a Time. They put some counters on Caves of Chaos Adventurer, and my guess is that they will just attack 3 times and kill us. If they have a follow-up, I'm going to concede. Yeah, okay, that's game. Anything I want to change? I don't think so. I mean, not much I could have done about it last game. Maybe I want these Duresses to prevent that from happening. But being on the play, I'm not that afraid of a Trinisphere anymore. And Duress is so bad against most of their deck, I don't think Abrupt Decay is worth it. Force the Vigors were okay, but if they have the initiative, it doesn't do all that much, so I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. Well, I have Thoughtseize, but that on its own is not good enough. Yeah, this will be a keep. Let's get rid of a land, since I have Once Upon a Time. We should be good. Let's cast it. And I want to keep my Misty, if I can. So I can get fetch up a forest. If we whiff here on a land, that would suck, but okay. Not whiff, let's see. We do have Noble. Maybe even playing Bayou into Noble is better. Because that means I can next turn I can go Wasteland and White. So I'm going to go for that. If they have a way to make Wasteland work, so be it. Just the plains. Okay. I am just going to expose this Wasteland. Play the white. Nice that we have another one. Reason for playing Wasteland is I really do not want them to Wasteland my Gaia's Cradle if I play it. It's like Cavernous Warrior. I'm gonna Wasteland now in response to the Chromox. Let's see what they do. They just add green, sure. Undermountain Adventurer. So I can take back the initiative by using a Town Gates on that. Thoughtseize here. Okay, so let's think. I should probably Thoughtseize first, I guess. But if I Thoughtseize, if I want to get the initiative, that would mean that I would need 2 Town Gates and get rid of a Noble. But to do that, I need to tap the white, so I don't want to do that. But if I use the Thoughtseize, I can't play the white. That's annoying. I think I'd rather try and phase out the creature here. The end step, so I'm going to Thoughtseize, see what's up. They have an... Ooh, that's the only thing they have left, so that's nice. Good to know, good to know. So then they have Forest Cavern, so I can safely play this Cavern of Soul. Sorry, guys, Cradle. I'm going to chill. Let's pass. So I guess they scry 2 now with the Undercity. They will not, they just put the counters on. Okay. And they just drew into Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Okay, sucks to be me. Nothing I can do about it. They take back the initiative. So if I Town Gates Caves of Chaos Adventurer now with Noble, that means I do get back the initiative, but then I only have 2 whites because I can play the other one. Don't know what's on top, of course. I just guess that it's potentially a natural order. Then I'd rather keep the Noble, but I mean, the odds of that are low, so I think, yeah, I probably should take back the initiative, even though I don't want to do this. Let's phase out that one. Quirion Ranger. Well, let's start by slamming in. I'm definitely going to do that every single time. So we take the initiative. Let's get that forest. Now I have to question, if I want to play both Quirion Ranger and white, I need to play the forest. Or do I want to wasteland the cavern? They're just going to draw a blank one. They will draw one extra, of course. Do think I need to play as much threats as I possibly can, so let's just do this. Okay, so you've played these, and now let's pass the turn. Reason why I play this is that when I can do it, I can double block Caves of Chaos Adventurer with my whites, and then block the Undermountain dude here with my Quirion Ranger, and this does not have trample. So that means I keep the initiative, unless they have found another initiative creature. Of course, they don't draw because I have the initiative now, so we'll see. I think that's the best way how I can set it up. Exile Lotus Petal, okay. So let's block like this, and now I am going to use my whites to get rid of that Quirion Ranger before damage. And then what are we getting? Probably a Triad Arbor, honestly. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Also nice because this makes my whites bigger. What I can do is I can actually use white to get another Dryad Arbor and make this a 5/5. Currently, not much reason to do that. Then again, maybe it is, because if I make it, if I do that, get rid of this one, get another Dryad Arbor, get 5/5s, that does mean that next turn, since this one will die, or one of them will die, it becomes a 6/6. So that does mean I can block the Undermountain one. So yeah, that's actually better. Let's do it. Oh no, Summoning Sickness, never mind. They have Wasteland. Haha, they Wasteland the Dryad Arbor. Okay. Sure, because since they Wastelanded that, that does mean that white becomes bigger, so I'm not unhappy about that. I think I would like to scry. Yes, thank you very much. I want to have threats. Natural Order. Yeah, I think we just Natural Order for Atraxa. I think it's too good not to. Let's slam in first. Now the question is, how do I want to tap this? Because my Natural Order, I want to play it, and then I will definitely, well, definitely, I will probably hit a 1-drop, so I actually want to play that as well. So I think I'm not going to do the Wasteland here on the Cavern. I know they have Forest in hand, so they should be able to cast whatever they have anyway. So I'm just going to play this Wasteland, and then just Natural Order. This. And that's also the best thing to do, because if I find Thoughtseize, I can actually cast it. So we hit Atraxa. Let's see, land. Creature, enchantment, sorcery. So that's done. Let's play the Quirion Ranger and pass. Now, next turn, I guess I just go for Crater Hoof and kill them. That's the idea. And I just concede. Nice. That was a really cool game. What I like about Cradle Control is you have so many decisions to make. It's really, it doesn't play blue, but there's a lot of decisions that you have to make. Okay, next round. I would like to play first. Yes, thank you very much. This hand does nothing, so that's a mulligan. Lots of mana, though. Yeah, this is better. Not great, but it's better. I'm going to keep... I guess I get rid of a white. Probably going to play a fetch land and fetch up... yeah, I want to get Dryad Arbor end of turn. Who knows, depending on what I'm up against, I may just go for the Mortuary. So keep, get rid of this, done. Play the fetch as expected. They play a fetch as well. Okay, I'm chickening out because they have Scalding Tarn. I'm afraid of this being Delver and then getting bolted. That would be ultimate punishment. Let's get the Mortuary. Cradle, not bad. Let's keep. Let's play the white. That quick resolves, cool. Watery Grave. Okay. Dismember. Looks like we are playing against Death Shadow because they are reducing their life status very, very aggressively. Been a long while since I played against actual factual Death Shadow. Baleful Strix. Okay, so Grist is going to be good if it resolves. Ooh, that wasteland's so tempting, but I'm just going to play Grist. It was a good idea for me to not fetch Dryad Arbor there, because they would have just dismembered and it would have felt awful. They have the Force. Okay, so now we need a threat, and then we play Natural Order. Cool, cool. They have the Wasteland, sucks. I'm going to Wasteland them too, so I guess that's something. Reanimate the Grist. Okay, okay, sure. Nice. I dig it. So they slam in for one. I'm going to play the Quirion Ranger. I'm curious to see if they want to actually use the Grist on that. Now I'm going to play this Gaia's Cradle and not Wasteland them, because I'm kind of hoping that they decide that the Grist is not worth it to use it on Quirion Ranger. Because if I, the reason for doing this is that if I played a Wasteland, it's so obvious. I would always Wasteland if I can, so it's obvious that I have Natural Order. So I was hoping that they would not take the bait here. But what I really want to draw now is just a fetch land, really, so I can fetch end of turn, get Dryad Arbor, and then get Natural Order. Let's see what they do. Strix, that's fine. Fetch land, please. Nope, white. Yeah, I hate doing this, but I'm just gonna. I need to get rid of Grist. Otherwise, I will just never be able to actually use this Natural Order. And again, I'm not going to play this Wasteland. Days. Yeah, that's smart. Okay, I don't have mana. Do I want to Wasteland now? No, don't think so. Let's yield. They'll Mill Ponder, Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's a concession. Okay, so I really want to have Grist here. Anything else that I want? I guess Thoughtseizes. And Endurance, since we've seen Graveyard Shenanigans. Collector Oof is not worth it for sure. And then I'm going to trim some number of cards. I always like doing that generally. So I'm going to trim one Zenith, one Natural Order, one Nantuko, one Quirion. And I probably don't want that many Thoughtseizes. I think this is fine. Not sure if Abrupt Decay is worth it. Don't think so. Okay, not bad. I'm going to keep. Start with the Ignoble and pass. Thoughtseize. Okay, my hand wasn't that impactful. That Thoughtseize is going to be great here. I'm just going to play these threats and pass. They take the Silver Safekeeper and they leave Endurance. That's interesting. Oh, they snuff out too. Okay, pretty good hand for my opponent. Now they know about this Bajuka Bog. And of course we draw the Atraxa because that's what we do. If there's one thing you should take away from this league is that do not play Atraxa because you will draw it every single time. Bowmasters too. This is looking to be painful. It's only one game, of course, or one round, but this matchup feels very tough. Like blue-black. I'm not sure how. This is the first time I play against it, of course. I'm not sure how blue-black usually fares against Cradle Control, but it feels difficult. There's hard cards that once upon a time. If they days here, that's fine. I don't want to use this Town Gates if I don't have to. They do days. Yeah, that was a deliberate decision. I really don't want to Town Gates if I don't have to. I want to keep it for a later time. Strix 2, sure. Misty Rainforests, I'm going to play that. Let's pass. New Storm, sure. So next turn, I probably will play the Talon Gaze because I want to cast this Endurance and I don't want to walk into another daze. Wonder, sure. They shuffle, that's a good sign. Okay, let's fetch. Let's get Mortuary. Once upon a time. Nope. White. Okay, so I'm going to play this Town Gates. Let's get rid of, I don't know, Bowmasters. Doesn't really matter. And I will just Endurance right now. And I do this here because if I do it in their upkeep, they have 3 mana instead of 1. And I really want this Endurance to resolve because I'm afraid of Murktide. And I don't want them to have more mana available to potentially brainstorm, stuff like that. There we go. Baleful Strix, sure. Wasteland, don't really care. I'd rather not attack into these Baleful Strixes with Death Touch, so I'm just going to play this Noble and then play white and pass. They're able to kill it. They're down to 4 life, so... And I've dealt 0 of that damage. At least they can't reanimate a Traxa if they actually have it. it's something. Hey, they will kill that, sure. There we go, call it. There is the Death Shadow. Noble, okay, let's play it. Pass. Fortunately for me, they have these Baleful Strixes, otherwise I could attack. With this Talongates and Noble, I could actually start thinking about hardcasting a Traxa. We're not quite there yet, though. Let's play the Fiend Artisan. But I think we just did. At least I can block 1 Death Shadow to death. They Ponder. And keep. That means they have removal. That would be my guess. Or another way to reduce their life totals, because that means I can't block one of these Death's Shadows to death. They could also just attack with everything, if they're smart. They do not. There we go. So they did find the removal that I was talking about. Okay. On the play again. Yikes. Jesus. Lots of mulligans with this deck so far. Yeah, I can't keep a hand with just Arbor as lands. That's a mulligan. And I also had a Cradle Behemoth in my opening hand. And we have a Truxa, of course. This is... what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, what am I going to do here? At least we can put it on the bottom. That's something. I think I need to keep. I mean, I'm not going to mulligan to 5. I'm going to keep. And I'm going to get rid of this. It's... Man. I'm sorry. It's just so funny. What are the odds? I had 1 game where I didn't have a track, maybe 2 where I didn't have a Traxa or Craterhoof in my opening hand. Please, someone run statistics on this. I think we start with Mortuary. These, if they wasteland me, that means we do get some value out of this. I'm just looking for lands, honestly, not a noble. Called it. Called it. Well, we did draw land, so I guess I got what I asked for, but it's not what I meant. Basic Forest. Phew! Okay. I guess I just played Badgermole Cub. So at least I have an explosive next turn. Badgermole on the Wasteland. Could have done this on the Dryad Arbor, but I'd rather not do that. I think targeting the Wasteland is better. Because if I Wasteland, that means I can get it back. Let's see. They have their own Badgermole. Nice. The Mirror. They will target the Cradle. Now, as much as I hate doing this, I should probably still Wasteland the Cradle if I can. They had 4 mana and they didn't go for Natural Order, so they clearly do not have Natural Order. I mean, that's something. Now I do have 4 mana, so I can go for... Yeah, do I want to go for Craterhoof? It's not lethal, so... A lot of options. I could go for Natural Order onto Traxa. Now, since they do not have Natural Order themselves, maybe it's better to just dump a lot of threats on the board and just go for Craterhoof next turn. Because I'm definitely not going to kill them this turn. And if they have Greenstone Zenith, I'm just dead whatever they do. Even if I Wasteland the Cradle, they can still tap it for mana next turn. So I think the best play for me is to just try and set up next turn's lethal Craterhoof. I could also go for Grist and get rid of Badgermole. And then what? Doesn't really do all that much, right? No, okay, let's just make a huge board. So I will start for X's 1. Get some Quirion Ranger shenanigans going. So bounce Dryad Arbor, untap Wasteland so I can tap it for mana again. Play the Nantuko first, and then play the land again. Gonna want to these, and then play Noble. And now I will yield for the turn. No need to attack. Alright, let's see if they kill me. They just draw and pass. Okay. I'm not going to complain about that. Guess that means we win. We'll see. Okay. Play the land. Fetch a land. Doesn't really matter what I take. Just trying to make as much mana as I possibly can. Use Query into untap and bring this one back. And now I'm just going to natural order. Use one of these insects. Get the hoof. Make everything 1 million, 1 million, and my opponent concedes. The mirror, well, okay, this is going to be awkward. Well, we don't need Safekeeper, that's for sure. We also don't need Collect Roof. Endurance is also pretty meh. So how do we win this? I guess we win this by preventing my opponent from having natural order. That's my guess. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think that's what's going to be the deal, the deciding factor here. I'm very curious about this one. I'm sure. Hit me up in the comments if this is correct. We can safely cut that Jukabog. I'm thinking about cutting Grist again. I don't see how in this matchup getting rid of one threat is going to be really good. White's the best creature, but I mean, I think I'm just going to cut it. Well, depending on what the board state might be, it could be okay, I guess. Maybe one Spring Heart. Submit. I mean, how is this even possible? I have Atraxa again. Dudes. What the hell? And I have a Crated Hoof. Jesus. Well, we have natural order, so I think we're just gonna keep. What are we doing? I think I just get rid of Once Upon a Time. I'm pretty happy with my hand, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. My guess is just turn 1 Zenith into Arbor. Hopefully, turn afterwards. Badgermill Cub and Duress. We'll see. They start with a Forest into Ignoble. Sure. Another natural order. Okay, that's pretty funny. I will just get a Bayou. Play order. Done. Get Zenith. Get Dryad Arbor. Play Badgermole. Sure. No follow-up. My spider senses are tingling. Okay, let's think about this. So, if I play Cradle, Badgermole, I definitely want to Duress, no matter what I do. Then the question is, do I actually want to play Cradle now or next turn? Do I need Badgermole Cub is the question, because I do expose it to Wasteland. So, yeah, let's just Duress first. Because my guess is that they have natural order. Whoever orders first wins. And the reason why I'm talking about this, this choice between playing Arbor or Cradle is... Abrupt Decay, that's good to know. So I guess we just take Snuff out. They do have Grist, but I can't take it. They go for Grist next turn, and they kill the Dryad Arbor. Maybe that means I should play Cradle. Now I know they don't have Wasteland, so I play Cradle, play Badgermole, and target Dryad Arbor. Because then I can still natural order, right? And next turn they can make 4 mana. So they don't have the option of going Decay and Grist currently. And I'm going to take the Snuff out. Don't want them to kill Dryad Arbor. Play this. Play that. Oh, maybe I should just target a Cradle with Badgermole. Probably the best thing to do. That means I can actually sack Cradle to itself to get order. Nice. I dig that. Decay. So I guess they also have the option to play Grist then? Or they're just going to fire up some mana. Yep, they just play some threats. So we know their hand. It's Badgermole Cup and Grist. And they will slam in. Since I have double natural order, I should just always go for Atraxa, right? What am I sacrificing? I guess Guy's Cradle. Never mind, it's not green. Let's take this Dryad Arbor. Get Atraxa here. Okay, creature's easy. Don't need another Cradle, so let's take the Mortuary. Once Upon a Time is the only instant. Then I think I'd rather have Zenith. And let's yield. These Once Upon a Times are pretty awkward, not gonna lie. Small mistake here by me. I probably should have tapped Dryad Arbor for green. That means I would have probably taken Thoughtseize and have gotten rid of the Planeswalker here, the Grist. I think that's better. Oh, but they just drew natural order. Okay. I don't think it matters then what I would have gotten. Again, Atraxa, trigger. That doesn't mean that they're not able to play a Grist this turn, right? And that's not true because they have Ignoble's 2 mana and they play land, so that's 3. So they should be able to also get rid of my Atraxa. They've taken Once Upon a Time, White, Cradle, Thoughtseize. They've played the Cradle and now they will play the Grist. Play Once Upon a Time. cast Badgermole, use Grist, kill Atraxa, and slam in with Badgermole. But I think it's game. I don't see how I can win from here. Unless if I draw maybe Gaia's Cradle. Use it twice. I'll play some cheap mana creatures to increase the green count for Cradle. Draw land. I already have both Dryads, so I can't get that. Let's see what we can squeeze out here. I doubt I'm going to get there, but I'm going to try. Let's get a Forests, play X's 1, get Quirion Ranger, tap this for 3, untap Cradle by bouncing this Forest. Now I can Natural Order, but I'm still not going to get there. I can give everything +3/+3. I can tap Cradle to make it more, but they still have, with the Atraxa, they also gain life, so this game is over. Yeah, I'm not going to change anything. I was happy with this. Let's try and have an opening hand with 7 cards and no Atraxa or Craterhoof in the opening hand. You can't be serious, dude. This is... Now, apart from that, I think the hand's pretty medium too, so I'm going to mulligan, I guess. Yeah, much better. I'm going to keep. Question is, what am I going to get rid of? I guess Fiend Artisan, I think, is the worst one in here. They play Once Upon a Time. And reveal Gaia's Cradle. Not bad, not bad. I'm going to start with, or next time I'm going to play White and Thoughtseize, though. Nope, can't do both. Unless I draw land here. I did draw land, but not the one that I wanted. Is there a reason for me not to play White? So I guess, can they cast Natural Order next turn? I think I just need to play Threats. Play the White and attack. Why wouldn't I? If I untap here, I can go for Cradle and Thoughtseize, assuming they don't kill anything then on my end. Maybe they have Grist, that would be really good for them. They have their own White, that's also good for them. Quirion Ranger, sure. Bounce. And they Thoughtseize me, yeah, that's scary. Now, of course, I'm going to Thoughtseize them as well, so it's something. This is why I was hoping that I would have drawn another land, so I could have casted both White and my Thoughtseize. Right, let's see what they got. Their hand's so good that Magic Online decides to crash on me. You can see it on the bottom here. They actually have reveal 3 cards with Thoughtseize. They have Bio and double Natural Order, so I can take one of them, but I'm still going to lose. So I'm just going to concede because they're going to kill me next turn with Craterhoof, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to restart this, and then we can go to match 5. Well, I actually had the intention of showing you the hand, but Magic Online just completely crashed on me and actually just threw me out of the game. So I guess the hand was just so busted that they decided to just break the game, so I couldn't even show you guys. Well, so be it. Yeah, I'm going to keep this one. At least I have an opening hand with 7 cards that does not have Atraxa in it. It's I think that's interesting. Let's see here. I really want to take White. I think it's the best one. But I also want to make a 1-drop with that Ignoble so I can play Badgermole. Like if I'm playing against a fair deck and I can Wasteland with Badgermole, that would be really cool. Now I'm going to take the Ignoble here. Let's play it and pass. They do have Tundra. Unfortunately, they're able to get rid of the Ignoble. Now the question is, do I want to play the Badgermole, or do I just want to Wasteland them? Now, of course, if I play the Badgermole and I target the Wasteland, they know about it. So maybe I should just Wasteland here. Then again, I think it's just too good not to do that. Let's just do this, play Badgermole, target the Wasteland and pass. They get an island off of a Flattered Strand and Ponder. Shuffle, sure. They actually swords the Wasteland. Okay, that was unexpected to say the least, because I'm still just gonna do this. I guess that means the hand is just filled with jewels. That's what it signals to me. Let's play the Mortuary. My hand sucks right now. Let's see what's on top. Another Badgermole. I don't think I want that. Let's just attack. Having to swords that Wasteland just screams desperation. Brainstorm, sure. Strand, okay. Let's play the Bayou, slam in. And I want to Endurance now because I don't want them. Then again. So I'm thinking, I want to endurance now, so they can't snap into swords. But if I do that, then they know about the endurance. I think I'm going to chill. Also, I do put the swords back into the deck. Just not something that I'm really excited about. So I'm just going to chill. I'm not going to do anything here. Maybe I can just bog. Yeah, I'm just going to bog. I think that's better. If they respond here by playing snap, then I can endurance. No responses. Okay. I'm just going to end of turn endurance a couple of times. It's annoying for them. Only 2 swords left, so that's good. Stock up. Response. Endurance. No responses. Okay, so let's slam in. I don't want to walk into a board wipe, so I'm going to chill. Yeah, am I going to do anything here? What does that get me? Maybe I can play 1 Quirion Ranger. And the reason for that is if they don't have a board wipe and they're able to swords or ending endurance, that does mean that I can end of turn still play endurance. They're going to have to fetch, go to 6, and then I still have lethal. So I like playing the singleton Quirion Ranger here. They fetch down to 6, 5 mana. They do have the board wipe as expected. So I'm going to go to yield to end step. Then endurance. This was yeah, like I said, it was very clear they were looking for this. It's not very often that you see this in the main, though. Like, pretty much never. Okay, let's play Wood Foothills. I'm going to play the Ignoble now, because I have Dryad Arbor, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them to 2, and now, even if they're able to get rid of this endurance, I can fetch up a Dryad Arbor and still kill them because that's 2 damage. Narset, that's okay. They will have to reveal. They did find swords. Let's see how smart they are. They do take back Wrath. Okay. So now, since I know about Wrath, I should be equally smart. So, let's think. I'm going to draw here. They will definitely swords. So, they really want to sword the endurance, of course. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to attack them with Ignoble. That means they may just have to swords that Ignoble, because I'm going to put them to 1. I think this is a cool play, and they can still Wrath for this, guys, don't get me wrong, but then they tap out with everything. They actually... Okay, nice. Okay, let's just do it. Now, I don't want to walk into Wrath, so I'm going to keep this. It's swords number 3, so you only have 1 left. Lorien revealed that that's okay. It's too expensive. They're going to Wrath now. And I will, end of turn, fetch up the Dryad Arbor now. So they will swords it. And then I still have white left. Dryad Arbor. Let's attack them. They go down to 1. There we go. Fetch up a plains. Swords, sure. Let's play white. Pass. Island cycling, reveal island, sure. Do they have even more removal spells? No, but they do have an asset. Let's see if they find another swords. They could also have prismatic ending, of course. They do have ending. So now the best draw for me is actually just a fetch land, which is hilarious. Wasteland. Let's get rid of that volcanic island. They reveal Ponder, that's okay. They actually play a different pond than the one they reveal, so that's important for me to note. They keep it on top. Okay, well, let's just play the Dryad Arbor. Since I have it now, I can't fetch it up. So now they need swords number 4, or Snap. Brainstorm, sure. Badgermole Cup would now also be a great pickup. Sylvan Safekeeper, there's a lot of good draws. They have to ferry, okay. They bounce it, sure. That's the pond that they revealed. Yeah, I really want to find Badgermole Cup now. Tamio, sure. Another land, wow. I'm just drawing quite terribly. And I've just conceded the game. That was done, unfortunately. Let's play the Grist, that's good against them. And we have some Thought Seizes. Those are also nice. Electro Oof is pretty bad. Jugglebog is pretty bad. Endurance is okay, but I don't think I want more than 2. We saw how good Badgermole was. And I think I'm going to trim some cards. Let's trim one Ranger, one Spring Heart, maybe one Fiend Artisan. I don't think I'm going to have a lot of creatures ever. Let's see here. This is fine. Let's keep Once Upon a Time into. The thing is, I need to take this land, because if I ignoble and I fail to draw a land, and seeing I've been drawing terribly quite this entire league, really, I don't want to risk not being able to do anything else, so I'm going to take this and play the land and then just pass. Fetch, Ponder, and Shuffle. Okay. Let's get Mortuary. I do not want Once Upon a Time. Play Wooded Foothills, and I'm going to get a Forests and play White of the Reliquary. They play Tundra and Pass. Well, we can wasteland that, so I'm happy. Let's start by going for Noble. And the reason why I wanted to do this first is that if they Swords White now, I can actually just sacrifice the Noble to get Talon Gates. And I think they are digging for removal, I guess. Okay, so that works. I will sacrifice this one. This is why I played it the way I did. Let's get the Talon Gates. Target my own white. And then just concede. Yeah, they just walked straight into my trap. Nice. Let's see here. Not bad. I'm going to keep Island Gravedigger's Cage. Yeah, that's pretty good against me. Let's cast. I like me a Badger Mocab. But same thing here. I think since my Zeniths are useless, I should probably take the land. So I have a guaranteed land again, because I don't know what they're going to do to this Ignoble. I'm just assuming, you should always assume that it's going to die, and that means I have no green mana, and this hand does nothing. So I really want to be able to deploy White of the Reliquary. Gravedigger's Cage, one of those cards that you don't see a lot anymore. Safekeeper, that's a good one. Let's fetch. I want to get a Forests. No, back to basics is the thing. So I'm going to play Silken Safekeeper first. Then my guess is that they in response saw the Ignoble. And then we're going to play White. Brainstorm. Sure. Looks like that just resolves. Nice. Keep in mind we can get lands. I can't get creatures, but I can get lands. Now, unfortunately, I did not bring in Abrupt Decays, so I'm not able to get rid of that Gravedigger's Cage. So there we go. Sure, a more experienced Cradle Control player would have said to bring in the Abrupt Decays, but I was not aiming towards, if I'm being honest, Gravedigger's Cage. It's not a card you see all that often anymore. Triumph of St. Catherine. Let's play this Cradle. Now I should probably just play Grists. Let's see if they have counter magic, because they should fight over this. Yes, they do. So now let's play the other white. And pass. I have nothing left. Basically, this Gravedigger's Cage is going to single-handedly just destroy my entire strategy. They will not attack. That does make sense. Let's play this Wooded Foothills here. I want to try and make these whites as big as I possibly can to just ramble through Triumph. Normally I would fetch up my Dryad Arbors, but Gravedigger's Cage shuts that down. I'm actually curious here, because Gravedigger's Cage, I would expect Gravedigger's Cage to stop Grist from entering, because when it's in the library, it actually is a creature. So normally, Green Sun's Zenith should not work when you have Gravedigger's Cage on the battlefield. But there's a thing as layers and stuff like that, and I don't have anything else to do with my mana, so I'm going to try this so you don't have to. Let's just Zenith and see if it works. So my guess is no, but I wanna see. Oh, and they also have Containment Priest. Okay. Yeah, I guess same thing. My guess is that it doesn't work. So I can click on it, and it apparently does not get exiled, so I think it was stopped by Gravedigger's Cage. Okay, so that was correct. Let's just pass, I guess. Yeah. They play Volcanic. I think if they Wrath of the Skies here, it's just game over. The combination of Cage and Containment Priest for this deck is almost impossible to beat. Lorien, okay. Okay, so let's think. I could get rid of an Ignoble to make my whites bigger. I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to get a Wasteland so I can get rid of this Volcanic Island. Let's also fetch. Get a mortuary here. Natural order. Ah, man. So painful. Let's get rid of it. Yes, please. Endurance. Not bad. Let's get rid of this. And just pass through the turn. Let's see what they do. Keeping that endurance for when they want to take it back or bring something back from the graveyard. There we go. That's what I was hoping for. Let's cast it. That works. Nice. They play humility. So if I want to do humility, man, what is this? Is this 2015? So I think this is just game because it's also for them though. So I guess that just happens. Can't see how we can ever win from here. Okay, I'm gonna attack with everything, I guess. Damage. Now let's play Grist. Make an insect. Noble, sure. They play Narset. Get a card. They're looking for Prismatic Ending. Now we currently have 5 creatures in the bin. Yes, indeed. So who knows? Maybe we get there. Would be insane if we win through Cage and Containment Priest and Humility. That would be pretty cool. They don't shuffle with Ponder, so I guess that's a board wipe. I'm not taking any chances. I'm just going to wasteland this Tundra. I guess I want to kill Narset. Maybe not kill it, but at least make it so they can't draw a card off of it. So I'm going to attack Narset with 2 creatures and then with the other one. They swords one of them. Okay. Let's create another insect. And we mill white. Looks like they are able to get a mountain and Prismatic Ending of the Grist. Let's see what they reveal. Supreme Verdict. That's okay. Null Drifter, sure. Do they have the... Oh, it's just the 1/1, right. Once upon a time. I'm going to cast that one. Yikes. Pretty terrible. Let's just get Misty Rainforest, I guess. I'm going to slam in with everything. They will block the Safekeeper as they should. Let's see how many do we have now. 7 cards. So if I just ult now, they are down to 3, but I think it's a bit too soon. I should probably +1, and they're dead next turn, so they need Prismatic Ending now, or we actually get there. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, they are desperate. You can see they just draw. Just digging for Prismatic Ending. Play Vista, play Teferi. That won't cut it. They're going to bounce, draw. I think we get them. Unless they have Prismatic Ending in hand, and they will do it at instant speed. Crater Hoof Behemoth. We're close to hard casting this. That would also be one for the bucket list. So 7 cards in here. I'm going to deal 2 to them. So they're going to go to 2. So I am just going to kill Teferi with one of them. And then attack them with the other one. I don't want them to board wipe at instant speed. So do I want to plus? I think so, because I really want to make as much mana with Crater Hoof as I can, so I can just kill them out of nowhere. That means 1 land now is Crater Hoof territory. And they're just going to dig for Prismatic Ending as they should. Board wipe, sure. Natural order. Man, my draws. Well, at least they are still close to dying. Let's play this. I actually milled Springheart Nantuko, which is an insect, so I get 2 of them. I'll take it. Nice. Let's yield. 8 cards in the graveyard now, so another Verdict. Okay, sure. I think I'm just going to minus put him to 1. But then what? Yeah, I think I have to plus. They had double Supreme Verdict now, so they should be... They've used a lot of removal spells already, so if I can just attack once, we're good. They play Island, sure. Wrath of the Skies X is 1. But that means... X is 0. Okay, they did do X is 1, so I was thinking if they were actually gonna get rid of the Grafdigger's Cage, would have been hilarious. So I have 8 creature cards in my graveyard. So what I can do is I can play this Quirion Ranger. Okay, I'm going to do something really cool here now, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to natural order. And I sacrifice this creature. Now, of course, I'm not going to be able to get something, which is fine. Because now I can just ult because I put another creature into the graveyard and they will get 9 damage. And we win. Nice. Wow. Okay. Well, that was a pretty cool ending to an otherwise average league. Okay. I'm going to show you the list that we played on this screen, because keep in mind I was thrown out by Magic Online, so my sorting is not correct anymore. Overall, the deck did feel very powerful, but we were a bit unlucky with the amount of Atraxas in the opening hand and stuff like that. I did enjoy this quite a lot. I'm sure that I've made some mistakes here and there, but this is a difficult deck. We will have to try and learn and improve, from time to time after playing a lot more. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you for a next video soon. Bye.